What is going on, guys? Welcome to a new review. This is the Statice Seraph. It's an ultra speed glass pad available both in coded and uncoded versions, and today we have got the uncoded version. And inside the box you get the pad itself, a polishing cloth, a sleeve, and some really nice skates. It's really nice seeing everything included rather than having to buy every accessory separately. I feel like that's a new standard in the glass pad industry, especially with the recent releases. So starting with the base, my review sample did have a little bit of bubbling issues underneath the silicone. However, Statice told me this issue has already been fixed on retail units and they changed the base implementations after discovering the problem. It isn't a major issue either because it's stuck in place like most glass pads nowadays. So to me, this issue didn't really affect my opinions. Now moving over to the edges, they're very rounded and comfortable overall. Personally, after using pads like the Polarity, I would have liked them to see this a little bit more refined. It's not something that bothered me while playing, especially with an arm sleeve, but I think there's still room for improvement here. Now going over to the design, the artwork is definitely one of the highlights. The purple and blue contrast looks significantly better in person than it does in photos, in my opinion. And the winged character design gives it kind of a unique look while keeping everything relatively clean. Personally, I usually prefer more of minimalistic designs, so the artwork preference is always something very subjective. But even then, I really love this contrast and color work here. It's genuinely impressive. Now going over to the surface and the performance. So according to Statice, the goal with the Seraph was to create an extremely fast pad while maintaining consistency and avoiding reliance on OEM surfaces. And honestly, after playing, that's pretty much what I felt. The surface is extremely fast, initial movements takes almost no effort, and directional changes feel very effortless. The X and Y friction feel very even. Kind of reminds me of the Key 83, but very glassy, and it helps make movements very predictable. Now personally, I'm more of a controlled glass pad player and I tend to gravitate more towards like pads like the Polarity, so the Seraph was definitely faster than what I'm normally comfortable with. So to make it work better for me, I ended up pairing it with more like control focused skates like the Kibuwashi dots and the Obsidian red dots, so there was no issues there. It really worked with every other dot skates, and compared to control orientated glass pads, like the Seraph feels significantly freer. I must say there's very little stopping power. It's more focused on maintaining momentum and effortless glide. Statice also said that it is very low friction surface with minimal stopping power, and I'd say that's pretty accurate. I also want to mention that I had zero sensor issues with the gameplay or testing at all. So tracking felt completely normal and I didn't experience any spinouts or inconsistencies, which was nice to see because this was one of the first releases. Now going over to the sleeve, it's made from nylon spandex blend and includes pinky support to reduce drag, as you can see right here. And this sleeve is actually a really nice bonus. It's especially useful on a speed focused surface like this, where friction can become very noticeable. Going over to these skates, they look like this, and they look pretty clean when I got them applied. As you guys can see, the speed is literally right there. And this is also a 50-gram mouse, which kind of prevents the speed, but imagine this with a 30-gram mouse. This would have been insane. And for conclusion, overall, I think the Seraph succeeds at what it's trying to do. This isn't a controlled glass pad, this is a pad built around speed, consistency, and freedom of movement. So if you're someone who loves ultra fast glass surfaces and wants something different from just the mainstream options like the Tekosayo pads, I think the Seraph is worth looking at. For me personally, I still prefer slower glass pads with a bit more control, but that's because I'm a control player. But even then, I appreciate what Statice was trying to achieve here, and they really executed this vision very well. I also want to say a quick thank you for Statice to send me this review unit out to test it and give my opinions on it. But regardless, that was still 100% my own opinion. And with that, I want to give you guys a quick thank you for watching the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. And if you guys did, please like, and I'll catch you guys in the next review. Peace.